Chairman Kaufman on the bill.
Just briefly concerned, under the bill, it seems as though virtually any person can file a claim under the bill. It provides that a plaintiff need not allege any loss as a result of the greenwashing. So that is a significant concern to the minority, and I'll be opposing the bill as is. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Are there any other comments on the bill? This isn't Representative Bonner, you're in order on the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I apologize for my remarks after our chairman. As our chairman noted, there is no requirement that any damage actually be sustained by the party that is bringing the lawsuit. But I would also note that there are extensive federal and state laws that already cover this particular complaint. It's just a question of utilizing what laws we already have on the books, and I believe the legislation is not needed, so I will oppose it. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. I just want to thank Representative Rath for bringing this up again. This is an important issue, and I know he's been working on this for a long time. So I'm going to be voting yes. Secretary, please do the roll call.
Chairman Briggs?
Yes.
Representatives Carroll,
Designation yes.
Donahue, Hanbidge,
Designation yes.
Hohenstein, Howard, Kenyatta,
Designation yes online.
Kincaid, Mays,
Designation yes online.
Miller,
Designation yes.
Pielli, Rabb, Sanchez, Schusterman, Chairman Kaufman,
No.
Representatives Bonner, Horowitz, Ecker, Ham,
Designation no.
Kale,
Designation no.
Kerwin, Clunk,
Designation no.
Kuzma, Ledbetter,
Designation no.
Rigby, Shalaba.
Designation no.
This bill passes a vote of 14 to 12.
Thank you, Secretary. House Bill 783 passes and will be reported as committed. Back to the order of the agenda. Chair will call up House Bill 97 by Representative Kulik. Council Vitale, please provide a brief description and summary of the bill.
Mr. Chairman, House Bill 97 by Representative Kulik provides factors for judges to consider when deciding custody of a companion animal during equitable distribution of marital property. The bill takes effect in 60 days, and there are no amendments.
Thank you, Council. The question is, will the committee report the bill, House Bill 97? Are there any comments on this bill? Are there any negative votes on the bill? Secretary, please call the roll.
Chairman Briggs,
Yes.
Representatives Carroll,
Designation yes.
Donahue, Hanbidge,
Designation yes.
Hohenstein, Howard, Kenyatta,
Designation yes.
Kincaid, Mays,
Designation yes.
Miller,
Designation yes.
Pielli, Rabb, Sanchez, Schusterman. Chairman Kaufman,
No.
Representatives Bonner, Horowitz, Ecker, Ham,
Designation no.
Kale,
Designation no.
Kerwin, Clunk,
Designation no.
Kuzma, Ledbetter,
Designation no.
Rigby, Shalaba.
Designation no.
This bill passes a vote of 15 to 11.
Thank you. House Bill 97 passes and will be reported as committed. I'm just going to pause for 1 second. Sorry. Next on the agenda, the chair calls up House Bill 102 by Representative Kulik. Council could please provide a summary of the bill.
Mr. Chairman, House Bill 102 by Representative Kulik will create a misdemeanor of the third degree to harass a sports official if the sports official is harassed because of official acts or status as a sports official. The bill takes effect in 60 days, and there is one amendment.
Thank you, Council. The chair is in possession of Amendment 01141. Council, please provide a description of the amendment.
Mr. Chairman, Amendment 01141 by Chairman Briggs replaces the language of the current bill with an enhancement in the grading section of Section 2709, harassment of Title 18. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Council. I'm calling up Amendment 01141. And are there any comments on that amendment? I know this bill is going to have some further work to do with a floor amendment, but I think this is good action for the committee to take. Any other comments on the bill, on the amendment?
None.
Are there any negative votes on the amendment? Secretary, please call the roll. Democrats are all yes. Sorry.
Chairman Kaufman,
Yes.
Representatives Bonner, Horowitz, Ecker, Ham,
Designation yes.
Kale,
Designation yes.
Kerwin, Clunk,
Designation yes.
Kuzma, Ledbetter,
Designation yes.
Rigby, Shalaba.
Designation yes.
This amendment passes a vote of 25 to 1.
Thank you, Secretary. On that question, the Chair, the amendment passes. On that question, the Chair recognizes anyone for the bill as amendment. Does anyone have any questions on the bill as amendment? Comment? Yeah, anyone, any comments on the bill as amended? Representative Schusterman's in order.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm interested in how this will change on the floor. I think, obviously, anyone who's attended a sports game with your children, with the high school, with the college, behavior has changed at these events that should really be peaceful. But I'm looking forward to seeing the amendment on the floor, but I will be a yes vote to get this particular bill out of committee. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Representative Kincaid on the bill as amended.
Thank you, Chairman. I am by and large opposed to creating new crimes because we have over 1,500 of them in Pennsylvania already, and there's a reality that if we are unable to, if district attorneys are unable to come up with things to charge people for it, it is a lack of creativity and not a lack of tools in the toolbox. However, I think that what this bill demonstrates is, you know, when we need to address an issue, that we should be taking a measured approach and not leaping to extreme punishments for the issues that we're running into. So I agree with Representative Schusterman that I will be interested to see how we propose to change it on the floor, but for purposes of this meeting, I will be a yes.
Thank you, Representative Kincaid. Any other comments on the bill? Representative Borowitz, you're in order on the bill.
Thank you, Chairman. There are already harassment laws, correct? So what is the need for this? I mean, what is the difference than already the harassment laws that we already have on the books?
Mr. Chairman, the intent and purpose of the bill is to provide further protections for sports officials, given the fact that we're at the number of sports officials is declining, and this extra protection may encourage more sports officials or more people to engage or participate as a sports official.
Okay, I don't see the need for this. Also, when I read the bill, it says principals, deans of colleges. So is that when they are at the games, or is that in general? Because they are included in this. So are you talking about like if a principal is at a sports game and he's trying to calm people down, and if he is harassed, how does that work? Or is that for him just in general at the school?
Mr. Chairman, the sports official or person at the sporting event, it's someone who enforces the rules at the event, and it has to be while they're at the event or because of their nature as a sports official.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any other comments on the bill? Chairman Kaufman, on the bill as amended.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would find myself agreeing with Representative Schusterman and Representative Kincaid in many respects. I have concern with the broad nature of the bill, but in conversation with the majority, my current intent is to be offering an amendment that would dramatically change the bill to make certain that simple speech isn't enhanced as a harassment. And I'm going to move forward in good faith that we're going to be significantly amending the bill and going to support the bill to move through the process out of committee.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm happy to work on that amendment with you, and we will talk to Representative Kulik during those conversations because she's been championing this for a long time. But I do think there is a way to address the intent of the bill and to if you go to specifically youth sport matches, it's really gotten extreme, and the harassment that largely volunteers are facing, I think needs a little bit of added protection. So I'm advancing this. I generally agree with some of my members that there is already room for creative prosecutors to address these concerns. But I think for recruitment and the rescheduling of games because there's not enough officials, that's evidence enough for me that something has to be done, and I think we will be able to satisfy your desire. So I think there's going to be a negative vote if the secretary could call a roll call.
Chairman Briggs,
Yes.
Representatives Carroll,
Designation yes.
Donahue, Hanbidge,
Designation yes.
Hohenstein, Howard, Kenyatta,
Designation yes.
Kincaid, Mays,
Designation yes.
Miller,
Designation yes.
Yelly, Rab,
Designation yes.
Sanchez, Schusterman, Chairman Kaufman,
Yes.
Representatives Bonner, Horowitz, Ecker, Ham,
Designation yes.
Kale,
Designation yes.
Kerwin, Clunk,
Designation yes.
Kuzma, Ledbetter,
Designation yes.
Rigby, Shalaba.
Designation yes.
This bill passes as amended, a vote of 25-1.
Thank you, Secretary. House Bill 102 as amended passes and will be reported to the floor. Thank you very much. Congratulations, Representative Kulik. Chair Kulik. Next on the agenda, I will be calling up House Bill 1091 by our colleague, Representative Ecker. The chair recognizes Representative Ecker for brief comments.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the opportunity for the committee bringing up this bill. It's a unique issue in the sense that we're talking about a situation here where someone dies with no heirs, which doesn't happen all that often, but it does, and we have this creative term we call a sheets to the state. Essentially, if you die with no heirs, the money will go to the state's general fund. We're not talking about a ton of money here, but I've been approached by a lot of local entities to say, well, why doesn't that money come back home locally to where the decedent, in this case the person that passed away, resided at the time of their death? So we worked on this piece of legislation and identified the community foundations as an entity that could manage this, because every county has at least one, and this would be a way for that to push that money out locally to nonprofits or other organizations within our communities where this money could stay, where the decedent lived. I would ask that the committee vote in the affirmative on this. This is a good bipartisan bill, and I appreciate the chairman for bringing this up.
Thank you, Representative Ecker. Council, is there any additional description of the bill needed?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, the bill takes effect in 60 days. There are no amendments.
Thank you, Council. The question is, will the committee report the bill, House Bill 1091? Are there any comments on the bill? Seeing none, I want to thank Representative Ecker for bringing this to my attention. It was not something that I had really given much thought to, but after speaking to you and to some of my colleagues on the Democratic side who have heard from local foundations, I thought it was a good bill to advance. Are there any negative votes on House Bill 1091? Seeing none, is there? Seeing none, if the Secretary could record it as a unanimous vote, congratulations, Representative Ecker. House Bill 1091 passes and will report it as committed. Next on the agenda is House Bill 1145. I will be calling that up by Representative Hohenstein. The chair will recognize the representative for some brief comments before we go to the council. Rep. Hohenstein, you are in order.
Thank you, Chair. Got my SEPTA key card here. I am a lifelong rider of the system. Love the Frankfurt L, even though we need to get it safer. So all of our transit riders deserve safety. All of our operators, bus drivers, and other transit workers deserve safety. Bernard Gribben, in October of 2023, wasn't safe. He was a bus driver on Route 23, and he was shot and killed. So Representative Khan and I got together when that happened, and we said, what can we do? A lot of folks, when we see these types of incidents, we reach toward the tool of punishment. Find a way to deter through additional crimes and punishment. But Representative Khan and I, together with officials from SEPTA and from Transit Workers Union 234, came together with something different, which is the creation of a grant program that will provide additional employee-directed safety equipment to be provided in our transit systems. And SEPTA already has a really good system of worker safety committees that they run with the union and managers. But this is a supplement to allow those committees and the workers in those committees to come up with the solutions that they see every day. And I know we've been talking a lot about transit and transit funding here in Harrisburg over the past several months because it is important. We do need to fund that system. But above all, we also need to make sure, again, that every rider, every operator, every bus driver, every person connected to our transit systems is safe. I believe this grant program that will provide those additional materials and systems to make people safe will prevent crimes and will keep everyone safer. So I ask the entire committee for a yes vote.
Thank you, Representative Hohenstein. Council, is there any additional description for the bill?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. The Public Transit Security Grant Program within PennDOT. The purpose of the grant program is to award grants to eligible applicants for the prevention, reduction, or mitigation of the effects of crime relating to public transit operations and for the improvement of public transit employee safety. The bill takes effect immediately and there are no amendments.
Thank you, Council. The question is, will the committee report the bill, House Bill 1145? Are there any comments on the bill? Representative Kincaid, you're in order on the bill.
Thanks, Chairman. I want to commend the makers of this legislation. This is really, truly how we protect our workers who are in these public spaces, is to provide them with the resources and the tools to be able to deter and prevent attacks. And the reality is that it costs money, and we have to be willing to support that, because the choice is either we put these investments in up front and we actually prevent people from being harmed, or we take on the expense of prosecuting people after the fact when the harm can't be undone. And so, this is an ounce of prevention. And so this kind of investment up front is incredibly important. And I think this is a great bill, and I would ask all of my colleagues for a yes vote.
Thank you, Representative Kincaid. Are there any other comments before we go to Chairman Kaufman? Chairman Kaufman, you are in order on House Bill 1145.
Thank you. I certainly see the need for safety in all modes of transit, including public transit. I guess I'm just uncertain as to why there needs to be a separate program when transit dollars can be used to make certain that public transportation is safe and secure. Maybe I need more education on this issue, but at this point, I'm not understanding why this needs to be a separate program. There's, certainly transit dollars and public transportation funding is being debated. So I'm not currently prepared to vote to set up a different program for public transit security grants. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Representative Hohenstein actually asked to speak for a second time on this, so I'm going to go to him. Representative Hohenstein.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Minority Chair, for raising your concerns as well. The reason that we are proposing this additional program is that, as we often see in any number of our fields, when we broaden the number of stakeholders, when we broaden the types of inputs that we get into trying to resolve or solve problems, we find ourselves with stronger and more unique solutions to those problems. So we propose this specifically because this is a program that those who are most directly affected, the workers, the operators, the bus drivers, they are the ones who will be able to come up with solutions and then provide implementation and be able to see how these things work in the real world. And I think it'll help us to create a stronger system, because it'll create innovation and investment into safety in areas that might not normally see it under the standard budgeting process.
Great, thank you. Any other comments? I don't want to go back and forth, but I just want to thank the representative for bringing up this bill. I know he worked on it last year, and it went through the Transportation Committee. I'm really happy it came to here, because I think it is a good solution way to address this increased attack on the public sector. I think it could be coupled with other ideas as well that we'll be talking about. But Secretary, please call the roll.
Chairman Briggs?
Yes.
Representatives Carroll,
Designation yes.
Donahue, Hanbidge,
Designation yes.
Hohenstein, Howard, Kenyatta,
Designation yes.
Kincaid, Mays,
Designation yes.
Miller,
Designation yes.
Pielli, Rab,
Designation yes.
Sanchez, Schusterman,
Designation yes.
Chairman Kaufman,
No.
Representatives Bonner, Orowitz, Ecker, Ham,
Designation no.
Kale,
Designation no.
Kerwin, Clunk,
Designation no.
Kuzma, Ledbetter, Rigby, Shalaba. Chairman, this bill passes a vote of 14 to 12.
Thank you, Secretary. House Bill 1145 passes and will be reported as committed. Next on the agenda is Senate Bill. I will be calling up Senate Bill 255 by Senator Baker. Council, please provide a brief description of the bill.
Mr. Chairman, Senate Bill 255 by Chairwoman Baker adds sexual assault by a sports official, volunteer, or employee of a nonprofit association to the list of Tier 2 sexual offenses. This bill unanimously passed the Senate. The bill takes effect immediately, and there are no amendments.
Thank you, Council. The question is, will the committee report the bill, Senate Bill 255? Are there any comments on the bill? Are there any negative votes on Senate Bill 255? Seeing none, if the Secretary could please report Senate Bill 255 as passing unanimous, and it will be reported as committed. Thank you. Next on the agenda is Senate Bill 302, also by Senator Baker. Council, please provide a brief description of the bill, Senate Bill 302.
Mr. Chairman, Senate Bill 302 by Chairwoman Baker clarifies that the $25 Protection from Abuse service fee shall be distributed to the law enforcement agency who executed the service of the PFA upon the defendant. The bill unanimously passed the Senate. The bill takes effect in 60 days, and there are no amendments.
Thank you, Council. The question is, will the committee report the bill, Senate Bill 302? Are there any comments on this bill? Seeing none, are there any negative votes on Senate Bill 302? Seeing none, if the Secretary could please report it as a unanimous vote on Senate Bill 302, and it will be reported as committed. Thank you. Finally, the final bill on the agenda is Senate Bill, the Chair will be calling up Senate Bill 327 by Senator Gebhard. I should have looked. Is Senator Gebhardt here? Okay. Council, please provide a brief description of Senate Bill 327.
Mr. Chairman, Senate Bill 327 by Senator Gebhard authorizes MOPEC to assign Act 120 certification numbers to eligible Fort Indiantown Gap police officers. The bill unanimously passed the Senate. The bill takes effect in 60 days, and there are no amendments.
Thank you, Council. The question is, will the committee report the bill, Senate Bill 327? Are there any comments on the bill? Seeing no comments, are there any negative votes on Senate Bill 327? Okay, seeing no negative votes, if the Secretary could please report a unanimous vote on the sheet, and it will be Senate Bill 327 passes and will be reported as committed. I am going to adjourn the meeting in just a second, but just for the information of the members on, I believe later in today, possibly tomorrow morning, we will be noticing another voting meeting for Monday at 10:30, June 23rd. I believe it will be in this room, correct? It'll be in this room Monday at 10:30. Probably will be a pretty robust agenda. It is June, and we're trying to put bills into position for various reasons. So that will be going out soon, but thank you for being here, and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.